Welcome back. I've just finished reading this remarkable book about a little known musician, Gauhar Jan, and the book is called My Name is Gauhar Jan, The Life and Times of a Musician by this young author Vikram Sampath. Vikram, I was mentioning this book to my friends, and when I said it's called My Name is Gauhar Jan, I belong to a book club, so I was saying that we should read this. So they said, oh, it sounds like My Name is Khan. I know it sounds really cheesy, but you should tell them why you decided to name the book this.
Yeah, sadly or otherwise, I don't know, My Name is Khan had to be released around the same time as the book launch, but then no.
So other people have asked you
Oh
to,
yes,
yeah?
several have. Fortunately, it's not inspired by the Shah Rukh Khan film. If you listen to the CD at the end of the book, almost all her renditions, she ends it with this very high-pitched and flirtatious announcement, my name is Gauhar Jan. And so that was a technical necessity, because though the recording was done in India, all the records were sent to Germany for pressing. And so for the technician there, it was an anonymous voice, and so they had to listen to the whole thing and then put the label on the record. So that necessitated her to actually announce her name. And that's why I thought she is telling her own story through my book, and so it's good to name the book as My Name is Gauhar Jan as well.
I thought the book was very evocative. It is very evocative. It took me to Banaras and Azamgarh and Calcutta and Mysore. Beautifully written. I thought this is a very interesting fact that a lot of men at that time were superstitious about recording their voice on a record, gramophone. But Gauhar Jan didn't care a toss. She was ready and all ready to go. The moment she was approached, I think she had no compunctions about it at all. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, we generally tend to associate men with technology and gizmos and all of that, but Gauhar and several other women, both in the north and the south, were the first to disregard all these threats and superstitions that went against recording and embrace technology, and that did a great deal for their personal lives. It liberated them from their exploitative patrons, and it also democratized music and brought it out of the confines of courts and kotas to a larger common man who could enjoy music at a small price.
And she cut close to about 600 records.
That's
600
right. In 20 languages.
What I like about the book is that it packs in so much. It gives you a very real picture of the times, and I mean the section which interested me very much was the British passing the anti-Nautch law, which caused the undoing of the Tawaifs in the north and the Devadasis in the south. Would you elaborate on that?
That's right. I think thanks to the prudery of a so-called enlightened Indian elite and the missionaries and the British government, almost everyone who belonged to the performing space within women, they were all branded as prostitutes, which sadly they weren't. The Tawaif community operated in a very different manner. There was a subtle hierarchy, and not everyone who performed were actually indulging in flesh trade. But then the lawmakers wouldn't see any less, and the morality laws ensured that you threw the baby with the bathwater. And so art was rescued in a way and sanitized and made available to the common man at large. But the lives of these performers was totally destroyed. There were no plans for rehabilitation.
It was a very fascinating period, because I just finished reading Leela Sampson's book on Rukmini Devi, the biography. What a time and what strong, I mean, these women were at that time, independence and all, they were really, really unmatched, these women in their caliber. What kind of reading do you do? Do you read a lot of biographies? Is this the genre that you are interested in working on the most?
No, all kinds of, both fiction and non-fiction I'm really fond of. Of course, for this book I read several biographies, especially of women musicians, not only of Gauhar's era but also thereafter M.S. Subbulakshmi, Begum Akhtar, Siddheshwari Devi, because it was necessary, as I said, to delve into the psyche of a woman performer, all of whom faced very similar challenges in life, society and the backlash of family and so on. But yeah, I love all genres, non-fiction more. People like Ram Guha and Shashi Deshpande are one of my favorite authors.
But I think what you've done is commendable, because you've brought to light and told us about a musician that who was really, whose life was covered by the dust of history. So thank you very much for this marvelous book.
Thank you,
And
Anu.
as I said earlier, I highly recommend it also because it has a CD and it has the 1902 recordings of the musician. It is, I mean, I won't say it's great quality, but who cares, because you know, you get to, you are really transported. It's very scratchy, the record,
right.
and it's, you can hear all kinds of background sounds and all of that. But it's been wonderful reading the book and listening to this.
Thank you, Anu. It's been a great pleasure being on the show.
Well, thanks for joining us and thank you.